Share some. I'm recording, son. The energy. All in session. The Honorable Feminine presides. Court's now in session. Karmic mother-daughter duo, possibly karmic mother-daughter, granddaughter trio in some cases. Okay, but certainly, now absolutely, for sure, karmic mother and karmic daughter duo. Okay, pertaining to the Honorable Feminine, on collectives. These are distorted witches that are a part of groups and have been a part of groups for a long time. They lost access to the Honorable Feminine and her children, not just physically, because some of you know that these feminines relocated, but they still had access energetically. So for a very long time, they themselves were still able to do their practice themselves in order to get into the energy space of the collective and their children. At some point, something happened at some point along the way, and they were not able to energetically get to the collective. So what they started to do, which it was already kind of happening, they've been networking with people to harass, stalk, and bully, and attempt to harm physically. Okay? Physically, they'd already been doing that behind the scene, paying people. For some of you, yes, paying people, contacting people and paying people. It's simple, it's easy, it ain't that hard. Okay, it's not hard. And whether we want to accept it or not, there's more people than there's not that's willing to do just that. Okay? Whether they are a part of these groups or not. Even, I'm gonna go as far as to say, this don't necessarily always have to do with the ones that necessarily go that far. It's some people, they're usually called bounty hunters. Okay? There's some people that is just, they are willing to do it for hire. Okay, if they are paid just to be rude, they're paid to be mean, they're paid to sabotage, they paid to make sure you're harassed, like all of a sudden it's quiet, but they may start stomping here in a little bit. I really don't care at this point, because it's the mystery has been gone. It's been gone a long time ago. So I know fully 100% what the hell is going on here. Anywho, so the karmic mother-daughter duo then started training up people. This is what they did. Okay, they did massive things over the years. They are on social media contacting TikTokers. They're on social media contacting YouTubers, anybody and everybody they can in these various arenas, telling the story in the reverse. So essentially telling the story that's basically mostly true, but they are not telling the role that they are actually in. They're taking the other role. So they started reaching out to all of these people and, getting them to do stuff, crying, pretending, all the little shebang bang. They started doing that. Okay, because most people just aren't that, people don't take the time. They just listen to somebody and that's it. Okay, so they were doing that. They were eliciting these people in social media arenas to come against the collective and do baneful working on not only them, but on their social media platforms. Okay, to report their videos, to, make nasty comments, to basically, come against them. Okay, then it continued to morph and morph and morph, especially as they lost energetic access. So they start seeking out the elites, those who have access to the elites, because they done fucked and sucked their way so goddamn much. They did. They done fucked and sucked their way so goddamn much into, especially if you're in Vegas, nigga. If you in Vegas, if you in any of these highfalutin, places where, famous people frequent. Okay? If you happen to live in these places. Okay? So, they work their works because they've been working their works. And that's something that even the people that are closest to them that are not involved, I have to highlight, that are not involved because they do hide shit from some of their own circle. Okay? But the ones that's in on it, they know full well what the fuck been happening. They knew since ever. Okay? So they hide this side of them from everyone else. Okay? And then they pay people to go along with their stories and all of those things, to co-sign it, to go along with it. Okay? And then they started recruiting. I believe that they got, because this thing has been going on a long time. It may seem new to some of y'all, but this is actually not new. It's at its apex now. It's at the end game. This is the end game. This is the end game. This is where it's at. Because this shit right here, this attack on the root chakra, this shit right here, that karmic loop, this shit right here, based on trauma and false soul contracts, this shit right here. This is what they've been doing. This is what they about to get their ass kicked for. Finally. Okay? Disrupting the collective's ability to care for themselves. Like the young lady was saying, the video that I mentioned on my last video. That's what the fuck these hoes have been doing. So these hoes have been trying to poison the collectives and their children, like literally when they had contact with us. They were doing it then. When they lost physical contact, then they start, like I said, they start infiltrating the collective's lives and start paying people to do shit. So, ranging from paying people to poison, paying people to be rude, paying people to be crude, paying people to be mean and hostile, paying people to lie, then paying people finally to get their own coven. I believe that they've gotten kicked out of at least maybe one, because they've been doing this, especially the I'm gonna say the oldest mother, because it may be two mothers and then a daughter, but the one that's possibly the mother of the collective, or caretaker, they've been since 78, nigga, since and we are in 2025. What does that say? Now, many of their people died off. I can name a few. Okay, that was in on this shit. That's been doing baneful workings on the collective and their children since they were children. Okay. So they start training motherfuckers up. Once they got enough, how it worked is with the inheritance. If some of you are wondering how could that be, well, they've been stealing from the collective. There's something that belongs to the collective, I'm telling you. I know it. And like one clue away from exactly, because some of us, it may be multiple things that we were either gifted or okay. So as I was saying, for many of you, this is somebody who adored you as a little girl, okay? And it's somebody that you possibly adored as a little girl, or, since this is mostly about honorable feminine, okay? And this could be, for some of you, it could be a relative, a distant relative of yours, or someone that was like a family, a relative, or somebody that was like a relative who adored you when you were little. Possibly. That's one of them, okay, that could have passed unbeknownst to you and left something to you and your family and the other extended family members and all of that, decided to not give it to you. Okay, they had every excuse and reason under the sun for it, but the real answer and bottom line is entitlement, greed, and hatred, and wanting you to be impoverished. Simple as that, nigga. Shit. People love trying to find fanciful reasons for shit. Well, we just don't agree with, yeah, and we really don't think he would have either, because he was a minister. He was a minister, and he was a part of, a fraternity, and he was a minister, and that we, even though he loved, yeah, and he put it in the will, but we still think. We still think, anything to help you sleep at night, okay? So, now, the point that I was making, being silly with all of that, this is how this has been able to be done, because motherfuckers ain't doing shit for free now. You ain't got motherfuckers out here acting a zip down fool, doing cartwheels and shit, doing the walk. You know what I'm saying? Going down on the fucking... Ain't nobody doing all that for nothing. Even those who like to do shit for good old fashioned hatred, at some point, if there's no real tangible payoff, at some point that even fizzes. Because if shit ain't producing nothing and you ain't getting no monies and shit, You ain't getting no monetary gain. It's like at some point you burn out and go, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go to my next project. Because time is money and money is time. Ain't nobody doing all this extra shit for $0. Okay, nigga. So that's a part of how, okay, on top of it, to keep this thing going, well, they've been in this arena. This is not just, the collective is one main, okay, but this is the business that these motherfuckers are into, okay? And this is the part that's hidden from maybe some of the main family members that they, I should not say the extended family members who, you know what I'm saying, may very well be religious, but they're not into, they don't know, okay? They're just in the same, basically like the same shit that most of us come from. And you know, so they themselves may not have their hands, okay, in like the dark web, you know what I'm saying? Like stalking people, taking, like they may not be into that. Okay. So it has to be hidden from those though. So in this case, they just simply kind of lean into the religion and kind of, this is how they convince people to see things their way and to agree, blase, blase. But they have other projects that they have, one that they make, generate money from, whether this is, you know, they get these insurance policies, because that's a common scam. That unbeknownst to people, people are getting policies put on, you know, and then the next thing is to try to manufacture something, okay? Whether that is manufacture a sickness so that then they can get some kind of power of attorney over the person, manufacture some type of an accident. They'll do, this is a scheme, okay? Woo and Sherm, okay? Insurance money. Also, you know, they're pandering disabled motherfuckers, the old and decrepit, you know, and disabled motherfuckers. Okay, pandering that, doing shit to them. Okay, trying to rip them away from their parents so that they can get their nasty little weird lizard fucking hands on them. Sending shit to them, they're attacking everything so that they can get turned over to the state or turned over to some retarded relative, or, you know what I'm saying? So they can get that check, and then ultimately, as they suck the fucking life out of them energetically and literally, like their cattle, food, or property, then the big payoff, harvest their organs. That's a money meat market, especially the pure. I saw this gentleman that I'm following, he said that, you know, there's a real market and they like to target, you know, the young, a certain age to up to, what did he say? I think he said 16 to, and he said because typically their energy is more pure. In most cases, it's alive, it's vibrant, and hasn't had the shit beat out of it, you know, and it's, you know, like parts. Yeah. Recommended. Unsubscribe to donorship if you are subscribed. Undo that shit. It sounds noble, but unsubscribe, unregister you and your children. No. Cause they're wanting parts and shit. Okay. And if they're light ones, like you know, light beings and neurodivergence and ones that are similar to my son, they really, that's almost like steak. Okay? That's like filet mignon of the energy world. That's like filet mignon of the Oregon world. Because they want to do ritual. It's a whole lot of shit they want to do with it now. Okay? Whoa. Huh? They want that thread. They want that frequency. Huh? So what they do is go to town. They know ain't nobody in the world listening to disabled people. There's nobody in the world paying them any much attention, and they're equating everything to their diagnoses. They know that. They also know that many don't give a fuck. Too busy, you know. So this is really bread and butter. Because you get to hide your grotesque nature, and it get to seem like it's just a sad, tragic story of somebody that just happened to be, you know, disabled, and it's an unfortunate story, and, you know, oh, they were so precious. Bitch, please, I'm gonna have your head on a damn platter. Putting on a show and shit. But the main ones stealing from them don't care nothing about their environments or anything, sending retards to do all sorts of shit. Fake hoe. Plotting, scheming. Like they life don't fucking matter. Attacking their caregivers, the only ones that they fucking have that gives a flying fuck about them. These are y'all's teachers and your leaders that you hold in fucking high esteem. These are your police officers, your lawyers, your government officials, your managers, your landlords. Yeah. For the right price. They trained a coven to do the things that they can't do. To do the things that they no longer have the access. That's a part of why they did it. They were kicked out of at least one coven. I know that. I know that there's at least one little group that they've been a part of that because they were becoming too much of a liability. They were too much of a wild loose cannon. They didn't know how to, according to whoever this coven was, like they didn't know, they felt like they didn't know how to temper themselves. They were too much of a wild loose cannon. They were becoming too much of a liability. They didn't know how to walk away from something after getting guidance and wisdom on a matter. They didn't know how to balance. And this particular coven, possibly, though they're into the crazy shit, they have a cap or something. They have some kind of a, I don't know how they gauge it, but they have something is where it's like, okay, cap. Like in this case, it's not just the dollars and cents and where now, okay, just give me more time, It's like, no, we're counting up all the other variables that we did not have a contingency plan for. It's not just the dollars. It's not just the dollars and cents, the pluses and minuses. It's all of it. And this is not something that we counted on. And at this rate, and according to our guidance here, this is gonna start costing even more. And they didn't like that, so they just decided to start going everywhere else, because sure as shit, in this realm and plane of existence, you're gonna always have some degenerates. You're gonna always have somebody that wanna be famous, that wanna make it big, that has a point to prove, that don't have any real grounded wisdom, that's just as loose cannon as they are. So since they couldn't get to the collective, they did that. Now, we already talked about how they infiltrated their world. In this case, in my case, this is literally, seriously, what they've been doing physically. In the last message, it said an apartment complex, there is over 50% of an entire complex that is involved with this RICO shit, with this racketeering. 50%. What does that tell you? Their obsession to get in the proximity of wherever the collective and their children are. Because they can't. Now, I believe they may very well sneak at least one of them. The other one may not be able to due to, you know what I'm saying, certain things. But at least one. Their obsession with trying to contaminate the environment and the spaces of the collective so that they can disrupt their root chakra. I.e., those above my son and around him. And what do you think they're doing with that? Because see, remember, if you follow the story of the collective, how they walked away from various people, they attempted to, you know, have relationships and reconnect, and they discovered that when they went to try to do, this is how they found out that they were being hurt and sabotaged by their own people. So they decided to what? And this is the proof of the obsession, long-standing obsession and entitlement. With getting in their space. Oh, I'm going to force my way by proxy, and when I'm sneaking as the weak back bitch I am. My power is limited to me hiding. Oh, you know, I'm gonna force my way into your space, and I'm gonna have my minions, my programmed flying monkeys. to do my damn dirty work, to do the abusing for me. I'm going to employ them to poison you and your children. I'm going to employ them to put poison in the environment. I'm going to employ them to be difficult and to try to trap you up and to scapegoat you because I control them. They'll never know it. They'll never fucking know it. I'm going to use their hatred for you. I'm going to exploit everything. I'm going to exploit their insecurities, their jealousy and hatred for you, which is going to cloud their fucking judgment, and I'm going to keep that spell running. Yeah, it's going to tear up their families, but I don't care. I'm going to blame you for that too. And they'll believe it because they're under my spell. And that's what they did to the collective, myself and the others that resonate with this story. They followed their jobs. They had people contacting them to get rid of that. They exploit connects to try to tie up the government programs and fundings and stuff like that. Everything and anything trying to disrupt the foundation. These are some weak bitches with a crew of weak motherfuckers that's got major inner child woundings, some major entities on that ass, and hardwired karmic weak, obsessed individuals that feels entitled. And so all of this was in hopes that, what time I got, was in hopes that, well, the city, the state's on the lock, and what are they going to do? What are they going to say? They're going to, yeah, but I think some of them are being alerted that that's not as secure as they thought. Well, at least some of them about to find that out. Because, when you're dealing with these types of situations and the shit is done in secret, the side of the spell work and all that weirdy shit, they know that most of the world is not gonna, what are you gonna do? Go to the police station and say, the crazy, weird, dizzy whore bitch is doing, like, what what are you gonna say with that? On that side, you see that aspect. However, like as I said, this thing it's morphed far beyond just somebody sitting somewhere doing some spell work. This is Rico. This is racketeering. Far beyond that. Okay? When you start touching stuff in the physical realm, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and when you start utilizing authority figures, people in positions of power, when that becomes an aspect, a variable of what's being done, This is no longer some delusional woo-woo-y theory shit. When you start adding that as a factor, people putting shit in food, people stalking, following people around, when that's become the normal, people in the buildings and near you or upstairs being the most, doing the most. Ain't nobody stupid. It don't take no fucking rocket science. Even my son said the shit.
Excuse me?
Ain't nobody stupid. People know the difference between what, normal, typical normal, noises and so forth would be inside of an apartment complex. Ain't nobody dumb. That's an all-slaught attempt. That's RICO. That's racketeering, baby. We ain't talking about the part to do with their little spell work ritual involved. That's a separate thing, because that's not something that, like I said, that ain't something that you ain't going to court for that, at least not in this physical. Energetically, yeah. Yep. In this physical, no. They gonna look at you, they gonna be like, lock them up. Yeah, we can't help you. Even though some of them be knowing full well what that shit is about themselves. But see, that's the game. That's the game. All right, so let's keep it pushing here. That's what they're doing right now, every day. When I was out, you know what I'm saying, last night, all that shit, they are still at the same shit. They have not stopped an iota shit. They're still doing spell work around the clock. They got people who don't have regular jobs, and their job is sitting on their ass doing spell work. That's what their job is. And they got people who don't have jobs. Their job is babysitting. Kind of like Respucia and her brothers. That's what these motherfuckers is. But they don't want to wear the whole uniform as the Lattimores. They want to have on a uniform as the Kennedys. The Kennedys, the Obamas, you know what I'm saying? Whatever trending family and couple out there that represents purity, justice and goodness. That's the face they want. But their real energy is the fucking Lattimores. Without the boldness. That's their real energy. Throw Norbit in, make sure Norbit don't go no place. So the kind of shit that they're doing, because they know they can't make sure I don't go no place, so they tried that shit, epic fail. But what they have been doing is trying to make me too tired. And also to simply just be able to basically watch and monitor via these fusion apps that they are utilizing in Delta Manor. and beyond. Harvesting me and my son's emotions. This is a whole weird shit off of our pain and suffering, trauma. Some of it on a global scale, on a macro scale, is their little weird science project shit. We are not food, cattle, and property. I'm doing a recording, son. It's not. Okay, it's not for you, son. I wasn't doing it towards you. It's not you. Close the door. I'm doing a reading.
I can hear you that loud.
I know. I'm just telling you that it's not meant towards you, just so you'll know. Okay? I'm doing it. I'm the judge in this motherfucker. Okay, so now judge in this bitch. Call them weirdos. So they're still up to it, and there's some people right now sitting somewhere across the U.S. saying, please don't call me, please don't call me, please don't call me. Because now the collective is pissed. The collective is going down the line. Now they're going down the line and they finna have conversations with motherfuckers. They finna have conversations unless they run like little scared bitches. Little scared ass, little weasel ass bitches. Their power, as I said, is behind them tinted windows. That's as far as it's gonna fucking go. Their power is behind them goddamn tinted windows, them big monster trucks. And hide behind they doors and shit. That's where they power at, nigga. They power is running like operating like a gang and shit. That's their power. Psychological intimidation tactics that's actually backed with cowardly actions, because they ain't gonna step. They gonna do spell work. They gonna do poison. They gonna sneak, because they ain't that damn bold. They gonna sneak to do that shit. That's their power, baby. Weak ass. Can't catch a fly, but they can show be parked at 1 in the morning and Parkdale Mall parking lot. Can't catch a fly, nigga. The Killer just walked right past him. The killer walked past and smiled. With a kid, hell, it had neon lights on the van, bitch. I'm the killer you're looking for. The kid is in this van, and they pass right by because they too busy focusing on the collective, nigga. Here we go. They catch a fly. The killers are like, nice, bitch. Go over here, because shit, they distract like a motherfucker. They're using all of their energy and resources. We didn't do it good in plenty. They wouldn't see it. They too busy with this lady and her disabled son. Child, they ain't got no time for us killing motherfuckers over here and robbing bitches and raping motherfuckers. They ain't got no time for that. They ain't got no time for that. They too busy over here. They mad because they broken hearted. So they didn't invest all their little money in, you know, being weird. Okay, boom. What we have? Boom. Ah, blasphemy. 8. Listen, something is coming. This is what they don't want. Their grandeur. They call themselves teaching you something. It's their ego. Listen, it says ego and hatred and blasphemy. These people are driven by their ego and hatred, and they have grandeur. And they're projecting that onto the collective, which is pushing them to criminal activity. Isn't that fascinating? You have grandeur in ego, collective, they say. They say, some of them. But it is them that's committing racketeering. It is them that are doing shit to disabled people, innocent lives. It is them. But you, this could have been going on for 8 years. I have 49 here. Maybe some of you are 49. I have 8 and 49. 8, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12. Wait, 13, that's death. Yeah, trying to kill you. Scorpionic energy, could be Scorpios involved. Could be a Cancer. The truth is them with the grandeur. Or should I say ego driven? You know, these people have a problem with you getting your flowers or getting your kudos or getting, you know what I'm saying? It's like they have a problem with you being celebrated. They have a problem with you having success and happiness. And that in itself is a definition of something wrong with people. They want it for themselves. They want to take it from you. Okay? Yeah, because you're a warrior here. So these are some fake warriors, 71, possibly when they were born. Infamy. Fake ass Juanito. Fake ass. Yeah. And there it is, the 5. That's envy and jealousy, you know, games, theft, hidden dishonor, unrestrained living is what these hoes has been on. And didn't want to rectify. They've been trying to stop the rectification. They didn't want to rectify the shit they've caused, and they've been trying to stop the rectification of what's been done to the collective, to create this mess that they have lived. Yeah, black magic. Instead of rectifying shit, they just wanted to pile on more baneful magic. It just came out. That's what they did. That's what they're doing. They do not have wisdom. This spiritual wisdom is in the reverse. 25 breaks down to 7. So they kept doing it. This was not wise. But they also banked on the ignorance of people, you know, because you don't know. So when you don't know, this is something they really, you know, kind of lean into. You don't know what's going on. You just lean, you know. So they were banking on that. They were banking on that, and then they were banking on other people not having no fucking spiritual wisdom. Call the telephone. Yeah, you guys have been patient. And this is your whole family. This is a family of lazy cunts and fucks that try to claim they banked on people not having no spiritual wisdom and tried to claim that you were lazy. They didn't tell people that they had you and your children under heavy black baneful magic. And the shit that they were doing behind the scene to thwart your life. They banked on people not having no goddamn wisdom about that shit. And they themselves actually lack it because they persisted. They lack it. And they're lazy. Because they don't want to do, their efforts is not legitimate shit. Their efforts is fuckery. Their efforts is theft. That's their concentrated effort. They don't want to develop. They just want to steal other people's shit. Okay. So let's see this baneful magic acting like they're a fucking warrior and shit. Bitch, please. Nigga. Like they on some kind of revolution. And fucking predator. Parasitical types. On a star seed. Doing black, they didn't have wisdom about doing baneful work on star seeds. They lack it. And they went and recruited a whole bunch of motherfuckers who lacked the wisdom about that. So with each card, let's clarify what's going to be the end of these people or the outcome of this persistence here. Okay, hold on one second. A narcissist. Blessings and blasphemy in reverse. This is a narcissist. These people are narcissists and they recruit narcissists. Or people who are easily controlled by narcissists. Yeah, we got legend is going to reverse. Whatever legend that they've built off of the star seeds or the collectives here to try to stop their legacy or to steal it or hijack it, they're going to lose it. Clarify grandeur with ego and hatred. They try to claim that you're full of ego and hatred. No, people are abusing you and your children. That's not ego and hatred. And the ignorance of humanity is the problem. People don't even have depth about all different types of abuse and whatnot. That's not ego and hatred. That's tired of being abused and treated like property and cattle. Intruded upon. That was a projection, because what they've been doing is the definition of something driven by ego and hatred. The collective having reactions and responses to the intrusions, the abuse and violation and grotesque nature of malevolent behavior toward them and their kids is not ego and hatred. These people are delusional. They're fucking delusional. That is not ego and hatred. That is, we are being abused. And you all are sitting up there looking like a bunch of country bumpkin cross-sided motherfuckers. Acting like it ain't no big deal. Like this shit is cute and funny. That ain't ego and hatred. Let me beat your kid's ass. How about that? You want to what? Let's play a little game. How about that? Let's play a game. Let me at your kids. Let me whoop their ass. Let me at your kids then. You want to say the collective is an ego and hatred? Give me your kids. Let me at your house. Let me at it to contaminate it with all kind of shit that can hurt you and your kids. While smiling at you talking about we here to do some shit. For years, let me at your shit. Let me at your little precious ones. Let me at them then. And let me see how smiley or your ass is gonna be. Let me at them. Let me put them on a voodoo doll and contort them good and plenty, and you don't know what the fuck's going on with them. They're in ego and hatred. That's what got their asses doing spell work around the clock and driving around in circles like maniacs. Yeah, privilege. These people are triggered. Yeah, they're triggered. It says white tears, privilege, and it's a phone. Yes, sir. They're triggered, and so they've been trying to trigger the collective. And a part of that is this abuse. That's what a part of it is. So they can be like, see, they're just full of ego and hatred. I am of love and light. Woo, 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 woo. See, they're unhinged, you know. I am all about love and kindness and gentleness. They reciting this shit. And meekness and self-control. The bitch is a lunatic killer. And these people got triggered by the collective starting to benefit from their pain. And I'm saying that because The picture of the lady, she's crying, but she's put it in her own cup. So she's taken her own tears and allowing it to purify herself and to make something of it, to make it meaningful. And it started to benefit. That's called making lemonade out of lemons. That's called making the best of situations. That's called taking the tragedies of your life and they didn't like that. Clarify the divine warriors over here in this infamy. They don't feel like you should have any privileges. Yeah, they didn't want you to be able to take care of yourself. Self-care in the reverse. And this is somebody who actually possibly can't take care of themselves. And this is why they go around doing all this nasty shit to a bunch of people in order to do it. And they wanted the collective to look like that they can't take care of themselves. Yeah, yummy in the reverse, trauma bond in reverse, absolutely. Because the trauma bond is broken. This could be these people were mad because the collective played a role and maybe highlighting that to them. With that being said, this is what I want to say in terms of social media. You know how it's said that a lot of the collective are like empaths, or they're hiokas, which are like mirrors. It's called the sacred clown. And so these are individuals that they clown more than a little bit, honey. The collective, every which way it coming. They talked about them behind their back in their little groups and their little cliques. I mean, boy, I tell you what. These very same people, as they watch the collective, mirror their energy, because that's what it was. They stalked the collective and the collective went to town. But see, with the collective was actually being truthful, and it was in the name of telling the story of how these people, the audacity and the ludicrousness of all this shit. So all these people feel activated in some kind of way, but it was a mirror. It's a mirror to them. Like, so you don't like that being reflected back to you, huh? You don't like it. You don't like what it feels like to have somebody talk about you behind your back, because that's what you did to the collective. Now one of you said none of that shit to their face. You don't like people ruining your reputation. That's what you did to the collective behind a back. It was a mirror of their behavior. And these people aren't self-aware, because this is what they do every day of their life. And they feel entitled to do so, and then they want to get together and cause a problem for somebody who is actually speaking truth and telling the story that they have a right to tell pertaining to themselves, and how they're being treated. They don't like it, but they conduct in it. Some kind of fashion witch that do painful magic. Podcast is in the reverse. Yeah, to try to take down the collective's podcast. There's some, yeah, a billionaire. A cult leader. Yep, there it is. There's the cult. There's the cult. Love and gaslighting. They don't have real empathy. because empathy is in the reverse. So they use love and gaslighting. They also use giving. They use communal narcs to make it seem like they're givers, and then gaslight. So they'll come in acting like they're going to fight for you or with you, or instigate something, act like they want to just offer you something with love and gaslighting, but then they have no empathy. It's in the reverse. Ooh-wee. Causing fights and problems. Co-leader came out though. So where's my tarot? I mean, yeah, and they trained up their motherfuckers here to try to stop your future, to block your future, to block your plans, to block your development, to stop you from getting out of your head, to try to keep you in your head or keep you trapped or keep you stuck. So what's about to happen? I want to clarify the cult leader in this Black Magic 25 energy. What's about to happen? They lack spiritual wisdom. What's about to happen? And they played on the ignorance and banked on the collective and other people not knowing about the stuff, okay, which is a part of the power. I said that maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago on a podcast. That's a part of its power, okay? The illusion. Okay, so what's about to happen to this co-leader that, you know, this mother-daughter duo that has raised up an army of sociopaths? It has denial in the reverse. So there's an exposure. Somebody is about to see something about this couple or this, what they hid. Yeah, offer on the table. Yep, it's coming in upright to hide information. Realization in the reverse. Yep. They were offering people stuff to keep you in the blind about things, to fuck with your emotions, to not care, and to stop your desires or to make you, something like that, to play with you. They were offering people shit to basically play with you and to hide it. Yeah. And so what's supposed to happen is, okay, so what's going to happen to them? They don't realize this either yet, but what's about to happen to them? Whoever this is, this cult leader and this black man. Okay, they're on the phone. Okay, they're on the phone or somebody's on the phone. They're trying to figure out, no way. They're trying to figure out a way how to hide the proof. Oh, they're trying right now. Yep, look it. They're trying right now. Retaliation in the reverse. Happiness is in the reverse. The past. Yeah, they're trying to hide the past. The tragedy. Yeah. What's going to happen to them, though? Boom. Yeah, what they did to try to entrap you. What they did to try to entrap you, and then not wanting nobody to support you. Because, yep, family. So they trying right now. Drama queen. Because they're the ones that keep trying to project onto you that you're the drama queen. But it's them. It's them that's created this drama. Legal, court, paperwork filed. Yes, there's going to be some shit filed on these motherfuckers. Bounty hunter in reverse and love affair, dirty little secret. Yeah, these are whores. They're whores. And what they do is play on the hold'emness of others to get them involved in shit. Vacation house, escape, ascension, a door, bounty hunter, reverse, pressure cooker. They're about to be upset. Okay. Commitment. Why are they about to be upset? I already know they're scrambling about as I'm speaking right now, texting people, calling people, going through the phones, trying to come up with some kind of preemptive strike, and they're doing what they typically do. They're trying to come up with right now, you know, their drama, they you know, I love you. Okay, so they're angry because I love you. I'm asking, why are they angry? It says rage, exposed. Why are they about to be angry, or why are they going to end up angry? Because they're going to be trying to reverse this shit, but why are they going to end up angry themselves? Because of karma. They're going to be saying, why me? Springtime, because you're going to see getting out, enjoying life, concerts, whatever they did in the spring, possibly. You know, partying, you know, the shit that they did at your expense. You see what I'm saying? At you and your kids' expense, celebrating, doing shit. Maybe things are about to look up for you. Frustration is in the reverse. A new car. Yeah, these people was stunting in front. A lot of these people did shit for new cars. You know, bragging about that, leveling up and woo-de-woo. They was trying to stop and block y'all from experiencing anything new. They were always constantly trying to hijack it, sending in the hoes, sending in the niggas, sending in the honeypots, sending in. A bad date. Oh, maybe they're about to lose their pampering. Somebody don't want them, don't want them no more. Bad date, yearning in the reverse. And maybe an open door for somebody. Doors closes in the reverse. Unfinished business. Somebody may be going towards a different direction that they want. And this could be a divorce. It says marriage material. Oh, in the reverse. Finding out that this person really wasn't marriage material. And they have people treating y'all like that. Like y'all wasn't marriage material. Like y'all was some fucking loser and shit. Ain't telling motherfuckers they're whole thief nigga bitch. They ain't telling motherfuckers they sit here sabotage and doing spell work and getting their fucking creativity from the collective. Ain't telling the motherfuckers that they putting poison in the motherfuckers shit and all sorts of shit to fuck with them. Yeah, snake in disguise. Reverse, forever love. Ooh-wee. Somebody finna find out who the snake is. Karmic soulmate going in the reverse. Poor choice. An ex-lover. Uh-oh, I wasn't expecting that to come, but it came. So they about to be angry because it says, I want you back. I realize you're the only one for me. Don't want anyone else. Okay. I don't know if it's somebody that they wanted back or if it's an ex that wants you back. Because we got an ex-lover on the board, y'all. Whoa. I don't know. Okay. Whoop, these motherfuckers. The mother-daughter duo. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I already know they scrambling. I know. Listen, One thing for sure. One thing for sure. The motherfucker, listen, let me tell you something. One thing for sure. Where I grew up, who I grew up with, I know their ass. They thought they knew me. I know their ass. I know what they're good for. They scrambling right now. Narcissism is on an all-time high with the default setting of how we gonna talk our ass pre-imitative strike. What's gonna happen to this mother-daughter that's been following the collective around, forcing their way to their energy, training others, paying others to do all sorts of foul shit to them and their kids? I have an Ace of Wands in the reverse. They're about to get some bad news. Either they're about to get some bad news with this Ace of Wands reverse, Aries, Leo, Sag, or they're about to get sick, or there's about to be an ending, because I said what's about to happen to them. Ace of Wands reverse. Okay, Six of Wands. Okay, with the Hierophant, it's got the victory here. The Hierophant, see, Six of Swords, what? Let's see. They think they got something to the sides. What's the Six of Wands? Oh, okay. King of Swords, the hacker. They think they're smart or they know somebody. The Chariot in the reverse. Or a King of Swords is about to do the honorable thing with Six of Wands, King of Swords, Chariot reverse. That's putting something to a stop, an end. This could be somebody returning a vehicle, putting something to a stop, an end, and then ghosting, going within. They're going to be forced into dark nights. It's a waste of time, but some of them are going to be forced into what they call the dark night, and that's when you're going into this time of isolation, and that's where you're supposed to go within and become self-reflective and you know, the hero's journey, and look for the light within, look for the guidance and all of those things. So they may be fencing to get ghosted, and somebody is going to do the honorable thing. Because again, these people offer different people different shit. Some of them, it is cars. Okay? They know that people don't be having transportation. And, you know, that is a really good thing to dangle in front of somebody. You know, whether that's a rental car or approval for a car, a down payment for a car, or, you know, that's, you know, when you poor, when you don't have nothing, I'm telling y'all what these people do. When you don't got nothing, okay? Or if it's, you know what I'm saying, you're struggling. If you're struggling, and that's really nice. That's a nice little package deal. They dangling that vehicle. Why is the Chariot Cancerian energy coming in the reverse of what's about to happen to these two? Is that a card? Should I say that? Why is the Chariot in reverse pertaining to what's going to happen to them? Not their empty, temporary, shallow victories that always end in destruction. It's illusionary. What's about to happen to them? The Chariot is in the reverse. There's a blockage. I have a Two of Pentacles. They're about to be blocked, or some kind of blockage. They're going to be juggling between thoughts and finances, which represents two. It's two women. change. Two of Pentacles. And they're under judgment. Their judgment is blocked, or they're about to be blocked. They're trying to confuse something, but they're about to be confused themselves. What's about to happen to them? With judgment. Why is judgment here? They're trying to hold on to a faulty foundation. This tower, they think they're getting ahead of it. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they're trying to offer something, a gift, or offer something to a judge. To somebody to confuse the situation. Yeah, Ace of Swords is in the reverse, in the world to lie about something, about an offer, to lie about it. Ace of Pentacles, what is this? To try to cause, to get somebody to walk away from something. They're going to try to convince somebody to lie, as usual. Offer somebody something to lie. Yeah. Knight of Swords is in the reverse. Seven of Cups, to try to cause some kind of a confusion. Some kind of illusion in the situation. Seven of Cups. To try to stop something. So now what's going to happen to them? You see what they're doing. This is classic move. This is a classic move. Nine of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is going down. What's going to happen with their fulfillment? They're going to try to fuck somebody as usual. They're going to do some spell work. As soon as I said that, they're going to do some spell work. I saw it. I just saw it right there. Damn. Boom. They're going to do what they always do. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, but Four of Wands is in the reversed. This upheaval. How is this? I see what they're going to do. They're going to offer somebody some stuff. They're going to do the same shit. Either to an entity or to somebody that they think the collective is going to come to. And for some of you, it's a judge. It's a judge or a official. Somebody of the past. Now, what kind of karmic retribution that they're going to get from this? As they're doing what they're doing right now, trying to turn the will in their favor. As usual. Queen of Cups is going in reverse, is going to get exposed. The Sun and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And justice will be served. It fell on the phone. They're going to get exposed. The message is going to go out what they took. Six of Pentacles. To steal your success and to block your success. How they've been employing people to do that. All kinds of different things. Spell work, people, individuals. All of that is going to come out. And in the name of holding on to something that didn't belong to them in the first place. Yep, Page of Swords. So now they're under investigation. How they were stalking you and paying people to stalk you. Even people in the legal system, how they abuse the legal system to get you on some kind of watch list. Yep. They're about to get justice right here. Now they're under investigation. And they're going to get some bad news that they're under investigation and possibly their business may be under investigation as well. How they've been stalking you and watching your fulfillment and sending negativity or lying. They're about to get some bad news. Page of Cups in the reverse. trying to hold on to this faulty foundation, trying to have dominion over you, blocking you. Yeah, with betrayals, 3 of Swords. These motherfuckers won't be sorry. How they did some of this because y'all blocked them. Some of that's going to come out too. That you went on your own independently, and because you realized people were hurting you and betraying you and your children. And a lot of this is also vengeance and pettiness. It's going to come out that they were lying about why you wanted nothing to do with none of them. I have a King of Cups in the reverse. 6 of Cups, someone of your past. A King of Pentacles is in the reverse. Look at that. How they were going after men and celebrating here. Yeah, celebrating with betraying you and blocking you and breaking your heart. Like this was, they paid people to do this shit. Because they thought that you were in isolation and alone and nobody cares and so forth. All of this is going to hit the fan. They thought they had this shit down to a science. How they kept, forcing you to have to walk away or paying people to walk away as soon as you get yourself into calmer waters and, the star here. And then burden you. These people became burdened that the collective is a star and that you all mastered going within this sage energy. You know how to isolate. You know how to go within when people break your heart. 3 of Swords, 2 of Wands. And third party energy and all that shit. You know how to do it. They don't. This was supposed to burden you. And that these people came for you with spell work and all this stuff to burden you because you were getting your wishes fulfillment. You were healing. You were moving on from heartache and betrayal and all of these things that these people have been participating in. And it's exposure. It came out, the sun. And they about to go to jail. Some of them, this is foolish. The Fool, Hangman. It was foolish to fucking try to sacrifice the collective for death insurance, for an insurance policy, for a piece of their inheritance. This was foolish. Death in the reverse. This was foolish to do this shit over and over again to try to entrap and stagnate the collective because they're, being held in high honor or getting attention or in order to win. This is foolish, and they're about to find this out. Hey, man. This was foolish. To try to cause an illusion, to try to poison you, to try to cause these games and shit. To be fake. 5 of Swords, to defeat you. This was foolish. And secret holes and high priestesses and priestesses and shit. Fucking with this raggedy ass Aries. 10 of Cups. Reverse. This King of Cups. Look at all these men. We have an Emperor and an upright, but then we had 3 dudes come out. We had the King of Cups, King of Pentacles. Ten of Wands. Somebody's gonna go to jail. Somebody's gonna go to jail. And if there was somebody in jail, pertaining to stuff, this is gonna get interesting. These people kept trying to get you caught up, and it's going to get some of their asses caught up.